Hi everyone, today's beginner Procreate tutorial is for this avocado with the drop shadow. So I've made it as beginner friendly as I possibly can. What I've done is I've made up a color palette of all the colors I used, and I'm going to share this in the description below so you can download it directly from my website. And then the other thing I've done is I've made a guide with the shape that you can also download and import into Procreate so you can follow this as well. And if you want to trace over it, the best thing to do is once you've imported it, tap on the N and just reduce the opacity, and now you can use it as a guide on a new layer and you start on your next layer up. So we're going to also be using the monoline brush for this, which is found in the calligraphy section as well. So to get started, tap on settings, tap on the drawing guide and edit drawing guide. You're going to select the symmetry option, and the default should be the vertical option, but if it's not, you just click options and here click vertical. Make sure rotational symmetry is turned off and assisted drawing is turned on, and then click done. So make sure you're on a new layer, not on the layer with the guide, and make sure drawing assist is on. And then with our base color, so they are all in order as well, so use the first green color and we're going to draw the outside shape using the monoline brush. So sometimes it can be hard to get smooth lines. So what I like to do is go into my monoline brush and go to stabilization, and for this part I turn the stabilization all the way up to max. I will turn it down again, but that's what I've used for this part. And we start at the top. I just follow the guide all the way down to the bottom. And as you can see, there is a little bit of a point at the bottom. It's not exactly how I like it, so you can just edit it by erasing part of it if you want, like so. Or if you want to undo it completely, you can tap with 2 fingers and start again. Again, if you do have a little bit of overlap, you can just erase it like so. So the next thing is drag and drop to fill this part in. So we'll come back to the guide later, so you don't need that at the moment, but what you're going to do is duplicate this layer and select the one that's underneath, and we're going to select our second color in, which is this dark brown, and drag and drop. So you can't see it there, but it is brown underneath. So you select the cursor and warp, and what we're going to do is just pull it out ever so slightly so that you can see it coming out from behind. It doesn't have to be exactly even because the skin of an avocado isn't even, like so. So the next thing is to add a new layer again and turn on drawing assist and create with the green color. I'm just going to follow the shape around, starting at the top and coming down like so. And if you hold it for too long, that'll happen. So just tap with 2 fingers to undo, and again fill this in. And then select the yellow color, the next one in, a new layer again, tap on the layer, click drawing assist, and we'll do the same thing again. And fill that in. So that's the base of the avocado made up. So next we're going to merge these 3 layers, the green, the light green and the yellow, by swiping together on the 3 layers. And then you're going to tap the layer and turn on alpha lock. Then go to adjustments and select Gaussian blur and slide until these layers are blurred together. So we want to make sure that the outside brown layer isn't included in this because we don't want it to be blurred. We just want to blend the inside layers like so. So that's the inside of the avocado done, and next we'll work on the stone. So again, create a new layer, and now if you want to get the guide for the stone, drag, bring it up so that it's on top, and at this point I'm going to turn the stabilization back down because it will lag too much. So maybe to about somewhere around 20%. And select the next color after the yellow, which is the brown, for the circle. And we're on a new layer, and this time we don't want drawing assist on because we just want to draw a normal circle. So draw the circle and hold when you get to the top, and then you can tap the screen with one finger to make a perfect circle and then fill it in. So now you're finished with your guide. You can turn that off because you don't need it anymore. And we're going to tap this layer with the stone and hit Alpha Lock again. Go into your colors and select the dark brown color again that you used for the skin, and bring the brush size all the way up to max. And now we're going to just draw an arc along the bottom of the stone that we're going to use for the shadow, like so. And then select the lighter brown and draw in some highlights at the top, whatever way you like, something like that. So because Alpha Lock is still on, once we use the Gaussian blur again, it won't blur outside the lines, it'll only blur within, like so. So maybe somewhere up to about 12%, or until you think it's fully blended, 12 or 14. Next thing to do is duplicate this layer, and again, at the moment it still has Alpha Lock on, so we're going to select this black color and click Fill Layer, and then use the cursor again with warp. We're just going to ever so slightly push it out so that it looks like a little shadow that the stone is sitting into. You really don't want too much of this visible, only a very small amount, like so. And then finally we're going to duplicate this one more time, tap it, fill layer, and then tap the N and bring the opacity down to about 50%. Tap the layer, turn off Alpha Lock, and we're going to go back in to Gaussian blur and blur to about 10%. Then select the cursor and uniform. I'm just going to drag it down ever so slightly so you can see the shadow from the stone on the avocado. We're also finished with the drawing guide, so you can turn that off too. And now all that's left to do is to make the big shadow. So for this, I normally merge all the layers together, and as you can see, this layer is turned off, so when you merge them, that will just disappear. It won't turn it back on and merge it with the rest of your work. So I'm going to duplicate this, tap the bottom layer and turn on Alpha Lock, and we still have black selected, and I'm going to tap Fill Layer. I'm going to turn off Alpha Lock and again reduce the opacity for the shadow down around 50%, and use Gaussian blur maybe somewhere around 10-11%. Select the cursor, and there's a few different ways to do shadow. This is how I like to do it on this one, is select freeform and just drag the shadow down and bring the bottom of it up to meet itself. And that's it. That's how I draw a realistic looking avocado in Procreate. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you'd like any more or anything specific, please comment below or send me a message on the website or on Instagram or TikTok, and I'll do my best to get back to you.